Hey, in this video, I'm going to be doing the privilege escalation lab in Hack the Box. So it starts by kind of giving this understanding that once we do have initial access on a machine, we're most likely going to be a lower user or a user that has restricted permissions. So this whole idea of this lab is to get us into the thought process of we're a standard user and we want to escalate to an administrator of sorts, root being on a Linux machine or systems administrator slash Windows system on a Windows machine. It goes into kind of talking about different ways to enumerate specific workstations based on their operating system and do a good job of giving us some examples for the Linux machines as well as the Windows machines. With that said, it is best practice to really want to limit the amount of noise after that initial access. For example, if we automate specific enumeration, it may trip up maybe their antivirus, potentially if there's some form of logging. If we were to maybe try to turn off Windows Defender, it may flag, or whatever antivirus they're using, it may flag it and then log it. So we definitely want to prevent that from happening, and so you definitely want to manually enumerate as much as possible. So with that said, you definitely want to consider which software they have on the machine. For example, the more software on a machine, the bigger the attack surface becomes because we have more vectors. There's more software, therefore there's more susceptible to exploitation. So it looks like the first question it's asking us, or it's telling us to do, is it wants us to secure shell into the server above with the provided credentials. And from there, they want us to switch over to user 2 and get the flag that's located in this file path here. Okay? So I'm going to copy this. I'm going to do SSH user 2 at, oh well, I'm SSHing as user 1. So let's do that. And then they want us to specify the port like that. Type yes. And the password is password 1. Okay. I'm going to clear my screen. And I'm going to do who am I? User 1. Print my working directory. I'm going to change directories list. So there's user 1 and user 2. If I was to go into user 2, I'm in user 2, but I'm still user 1. So let's do list, and then let's cat this flag. I don't have the permission, so I need to switch from user 1 to user 2. So with that said, I want to list the users to see what permissions they have. So I can switch to user 2, so there's no password in place in this specific location. So if I was to do the sudo command once more with the user, I'm going to specify user 2, and then I have to specify this location because this is the only location where I can switch to user 2 without being prompted for a password. Now if I do who am I once more, you can see that I'm user 2. Again, we're going to print our working directory and list everything, and let's concatenate that flag. And there's the flag, hack the box, lateral movement to another user. Okay? So then after that, they want us to escalate your privileges to root to get into the flag, root/flag txt. All right. So let's scroll up a little bit. So SSH keys. So most SSH keys, private keys, are found in the home user.ssh, which is a hidden file, or in root.ssh. And here's the private key here. We're looking for root, so we're gonna go to this specific directory, and I'm gonna go back here. I copied it. I'm gonna paste that. Oh. Alright, now print working directory, and I'm in there. Let's list. So there's authorized keys. Here's our private key we want, and then here's this. So let's concatenate id.rsa. This is the private key. I'm minimizing this. I'm going to copy that. So you have to be very careful when copying private keys. We want to make sure we have the end open SSH private key component as well as the beginning. It's kind of like the message digest. So we need all of this. And I'm going to copy that. I'm going to minimize this connection. Now I'm back on my workstation. I'm going to open a terminal. Who am I? So this is not our SSH connection. And I'm on the desktop, so I'm going to nano. I'm going to call RD-RSA. And I'm going to paste the key. Save it with Control X, Y, enter. Clear. And now let's use it to connect. And it wants us to do a few things before we do that. For example, we need to change the user permissions, and then it wants us to connect as root with this command here. So let's do that. Install IDRSA, we just changed it. And now I'm going to paste that one command. Wants us to SSH root with the user root. We have to actually specify our target. I'm going to copy that once more. And we want to include the port. As far as I'm concerned, we do want to include the port. So I'm going to use the sudo command. I think that's probably what caused that to happen. And I'll do that one more time. Four 7 5 8 0. There we go. So I had to specify the port, but it needed me to specify it without the colon, but with a short command of P for port. Okay. So now if I were to do who am I, it shows that we are root on this machine once more, which I'm still connected to on this other terminal. On this version, the SSH connection, I'm still user 2. So let's go back to this one, because this is one where we're root, clearing the screen. And it gave us the file path of where it is, which is pretty nice. If I was to change directories and go here, that's root. And if I was to list, there's the flag.txt, and I'll concatenate it. There it is. Hack the box, privilege, escalation, root.